I'm Jane Applegath. This is the Epic Vision Zone. What if this holiday season you could savor every delicious bite and still feel your best without the usual holiday guilt? And what if you discovered the secret to enjoying holiday meals without a second thought? And how about indulging in your favorite holiday treats without regret? It's that wonderful time of year when comfort foods flood our fridges, break rooms, dinner tables, and even our thoughts. And it's tempting to holiday binge eat. Dr. Verena is here again to give us tips to staying healthy during the holiday season. Ernestine Ulmer wrote, "Life is uncertain, eat dessert first." Drawing from years of clinical practice, academic research, and her knowledge of food cultures, Dr. Verena is here to share her brilliant approach to eating for health, wellness, and pleasure. An innovator in her field, Dr. Verena's cookbook, Dr. Verena's Kitchen, Eating to Ultimate Health Made Easy, integrates healing protocols into delicious recipes that promote health and enjoyment. It's a must-have book for your kitchen pantry full of fabulous food preps, and I can testify to that from personal use. If you're looking for a guide to better health and vitality this holiday season, you're in the right place. Welcome once again, Dr. Verena.
Hello, Jane. I'm so grateful to be back and sharing the space with your audience today to diving into how to have guilt-free Christmas and enjoy the holiday season, but really stay healthy at the same time.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm excited to share this because I, for one, would love to know the secrets to that as well. So let's delve into the very first question that I have. And this is one that my dad always used to do. He used to skip meals in order to fill up on the grand meal. So skipping meals before the big holiday dinner, does that work against us? And give us a little bit insight into that.
Skipping meals before a large holiday feast may seem like a way to make room for indulgence. Like you said, your dad was one of the wants to practice so, but it often leads to overeating and poor digestion later. So
Mm.
instead, aim for a balanced meal throughout the day to keep your blood sugar stable and energy levels high. A well-balanced meal should always include a lot of vegetables, protein, and complex carbohydrates. So from Dr. Verena's Kitchen, I share free recipes that would reflect that balance. Grilled chicken pesto, for example, with
Mm.
roasted Brussels sprouts, broccolini, avocado, and quinoa. Or quinoa with roasted vegetables like zucchini, carrots, beetroot, and capsicum, with some beluga lentils on rocket and probiotic dressing. You also see, because your audience is in the winter, we don't want to overdo too many raw foods through salads. So this
Mm.
is a very beautiful balanced salad where we have a lot of cooked elements and the rocket meaning a little bit of a raw element. Grilled wild salmon would be another example, with cauliflower rice, tahini dressing, avocado, ruby seaweed sauerkraut, cucumber sprouts, dukkha, which is an Egyptian Middle Eastern condiment made from spices and nuts, which really gives a beautiful flavor to the grilled salmon. So these combinations provide really a steady release of energy while keeping
Mm.
your gut and mood balanced for the holiday ahead.
Mm. Okay, I'm salivating now because I want one of everything you just mentioned. Oh my gosh, that sounds delicious. And of course, all of these are available in her incredible cookbook, which we'll get into later on. But that sounds wonderful. And yes, staying balanced is the key, not starving yourself and then gorging, basically. So, protein power. Tell us the secret to the power of protein and why it matters so much during the holidays.
Protein is a powerhouse nutrient, especially crucial during the festive season when our bodies actually often bear the brunt of indulgent eating, late nights, and social gatherings.
Mm.
So, prioritizing protein during that time can really be transformative because, one, it actually really assists with stabilizing energy and reducing cravings. So, holiday spreads are typically loaded with simple carbs and sugar, which spike
Mhm.
our blood sugar levels, only to send them crashing down later. So, protein is a slow burning fuel, keeping energy steady and reducing the temptation of sugary, high calorie snacks. It also helps to maintain our muscle mass while being inactive. So December, November already, but particularly December is full of cozy family time, often spent on the couch. Without adequate protein, muscle mass can actually start to dwindle. Protein
Mhm.
helps preserve muscle, supporting that metabolic health and making it actually easy to get back into the fitness routine once the holiday wraps up. It also is interesting to note that it supports immune health. Holiday
Mm.
socializing, we know, exposes us to more germs. There's lots of Christmas parties on. And proteins, amino acids are essential building blocks for the immune cells and antibodies, helping the body to defend itself more effectively. So, strong immune system means you're better equipped to handle holiday stress without getting run down. It is also really help balancing for hormones and mood. So the amino acids in protein foods are precursors to neurotransmitters like serotonin or dopamine, which support mood and stress response. So by keeping your protein intake steady, you help regulate these hormones, making it easier to stay calm and positive during what can be a busy and very demanding time. And last, it supports liver health for detoxification. So the liver really works overtime in the holiday season, breaking down heavier foods, alcohol, and added sugar. And protein supports liver detox pathways, helping our body efficiently managing the increased load so you can enjoy it without feeling really bogged down. So I highly recommend, for example, starting your day with a packed protein breakfast to help stabilize your blood sugar, keep you full, and kickstart your metabolism for the day. Because during the busy season, again, what we said before, you can tend to think, okay, I'm going to skip breakfast because I'm going to eat more later on for lunch and dinner, being the festive season. But I highly recommend aiming for at least 30 grams of protein in your first meal. So that could be scrambled eggs with sauteed spinach, good asparagus is more in season right now here, but sauerkraut, sprouts, fresh herbs, avocado, a veggie packed omelette. If you don't do eggs, you can do wild salmon and beans, for example, or a lighter breakfast could be a miso broth,
Mm.
or even cooked chicken broth with miso in it, because miso paste is actually very high in protein as well, but please buy the really high quality miso paste. Um, that the shiro miso or the white miso gives a little bit of a sweeter flavor, and you could just add some vegetables or some tempeh, which is fermented soy, a little bit different to tofu for those people in the audience who don't know what tempeh is. It's a little bit of more of a nutty kind of texture and flavor. So while treats and comfort foods really have their place, keeping protein on your plate through quality sources like meats, fish, eggs, lentils, beans, nuts, and seeds ensures really you feel vibrant and balanced and resilient through every celebration that you will encounter.
Oh my gosh. It is like a miracle element. I had no idea it provides so much health for our body. You know, you've got the
Yes.
muscle tone that it maintains. You've got the serotonin to help with the stress during holidays, because many of us are with family that we get, you know, a little crazy with, you know, maintaining your balance in your gut and your liver. Oh my gosh, it's a miracle element. Now, just a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Here in North America, a lot of individuals like to do the protein shake. Now,
Yes.
is that a good option to keep your protein up in the morning, or would you say it's healthier to have your eggs or your other suggestions that you said?
It depends on the person because, as you mentioned, it's also here in Australia that a lot of people prefer the protein shake because it is quick, particularly in the holiday
Mm,
season. You cook a lot anyway. You may not feel like cooking a third meal like breakfast. It's a busy time because you maybe, particularly on the days of celebration, where you start cooking in the morning
right.
for the lunch or dinner, then that is an absolute great option. With protein powders, generally, I always suggest fermented organic protein sources, like, for example, pea protein. A lot of people would consume whey protein powder. That's a little bit different, of course, than plant-based protein powder. It can also be, if people are sensitive with their digestion, that's a bit too hard on their system, then the other option for them is always collagen peptides, because that's also a complete protein that can be added to smoothies because it really supports the gut lining, aids in better nutrient absorption, and overall digestive comfort.
Okay, wonderful. Well, that's good to know because I know that, like you said, during the holidays, especially, you're already cooking in the morning, but for the either afternoon or the evening meal. But that's wonderful. Now, thank you for that information. I've got a whole new respect for protein, and certainly it is a powerhouse. Thank you. So, what steps can we take then to enjoy a bloat-free holiday and keeping our gut healthy?
Supporting a diverse microbiome is, I would say, a big key. And one way to do this is by increasing a variety of fruits and vegetables to consume. So, the holiday season, because we delve into different foods that we cook for either family or friends, or we are invited to places, is always a great way to try out new foods, because we can have the tendency to go with what we like and what we know. So also, when you think about the recipes that you want to cook for your friends and loved ones this season, challenge yourself a little bit and buy some new fruits or vegetables. So whether that's fennel or kohlrabi or watercress, or a different fruit like passion fruit that you want to put on the cheese board, the variety of foods will really help to feed different strains of beneficial bacteria, improving gut function and resilience. In my new cookbook, for example, I teach you how to increase food diversity to 40 different foods a week minimum. Some people actually reach that in a given day, as this high food diversity is associated with a more resilient and healthier gut microbiome. The other very easy, we could call it healthy festive season gut hack, includes adding 2 servings of probiotic foods daily, which can help
Mm,
maintain a healthy balance of the gut bacteria as well, which is essential for digestion and immunity. So aim for 2 servings of probiotic foods per day, which is, for example, half a cup of sauerkraut or kimchi. It's really important to note with fermented vegetables as such that you have to get them from the fridge. If they are just
mm,
in the normal food aisle, there is no probiotic value left in them as such.
okay.
Yogurt and kefir or shiro white miso paste, I mentioned before, is, for example, great to add to salad dressings. It adds a
Mm,
little bit of a creamy texture, a sweeter flavor, and you always get a little bit of that probiotic addition. So these foods provide really beneficial bacteria that support the gut lining, improve nutrient absorption, and can even help reduce inflammation, which we all are a little bit more exposed to in the festive season because just of the indulgence foods and most likely the alcohol, which we consume more of. So including probiotic foods regularly helps buffer the effect of indulgent holiday meals, keeps your digestive system running smoothly, even when you're treating yourself. So the intake of sour foods, which those probiotic foods are, also curbs the craving for sweets a little bit, which is really interesting to note. And if you're new to probiotic foods, start with small amounts, because probiotic foods are high in histamine. And if you note you react adversely, then you may have histamine sensitivity, and you have to just be a little bit careful with those high histamine foods. But in my new cookbook, I teach you how to heal your gut and get accustomed to slowly eating foods that are higher in histamine.
Excellent. Yes, I love that tip that you said by adding little bits of like miso to your salad dressing and
Yes.
variety. That's really key because we even here in the house we tend up to eating the same thing because it's convenient. We've got it
Mhm.
ready. We prep on the weekend, but it's always the same thing. I personally, I just can't imagine trying 40 new things in a day, let alone a month. But that's a good challenge. I think that's, and it's great to try new foods because we do love the farmers market and there's always lots of really interesting things there. So
Yeah.
thank you for those wonderful tips on gut health. But yes, I love that. Absolutely.
You're welcome, Jane. So with the 40 different foods, I just wanted to add, not to clarify for the audience. So it's not 40 different foods that you have to try. You can just include 1 or 2 different foods, new ones per week. But you already, with the foods you have in your day-to-day routine and weekly routine, you want to kind of, when you count it in your head, get up to you eating 40 different foods basically. But you can add 1 or 2 new ones every week to just experiment a little bit more and increase that food diversity.
Absolutely. Yes, I could see that for sure. Well, thank you for that information. And we spoke
You're
a little
welcome.
earlier about the smoothies. So tell us, you have what you call a supercharging your smoothie, why that matters, and give us your favorite, or maybe there's a couple of favorite smoothie recipes from your book.
So smoothies can be a nutrient powerhouse when you add gut-friendly ingredients. It's also fantastic for children who are fussy and you don't really get the nutrition and nutrient content in through the normal day-to-day foods, because they may only be eating a handful or kind of 10 foods a week. But even with yourself, when you just want to have and really increase your nutrient density for the day, smoothies are an absolute great place to start. So I throw, for example, vegetables in the smoothie, like frozen cauliflower florets, peeled zucchini slices, because the green peel of the zucchini is a bit bitter, spinach, kale, cucumber, and mint. They really don't have a lot of flavor when you add them, except for the mint. And maybe the kale a bit more, but you can really boost fiber and nutrients without altering the flavor of the smoothie too much. Because the cauliflower florets, for example, they get steamed and then frozen. So you really like don't know that there's cauliflower in the smoothie. We talked about collagen peptides, for example, to get that complete protein into the smoothie, or whey, or a plant-based protein that is fermented and organic. And then other powders like prebiotic fibers can really make a difference for the gut microbiome. Like acacia fiber is easy to get these days. It's a prebiotic fiber that nourishes good bacteria. Inulin is quite common, that has been seen more and more in the health space because it really helps fat metabolism, blood sugar, and digestive health. And psyllium husks, for example, chia seeds, most likely we want to soak them in water a little bit prior to adding, because otherwise they can irritate the gut and soak up a lot of bodily water as such. Also, adding adaptogens like ashwagandha and rhodolia really helps us with regulating stress and digestion more during the frenziness and the busyness. So these
Yeah.
additions provide a gentle way to support your gut bacteria, but also maintain a digestive health and mood balance during the holiday season.
Mm.
One of my favorite gut healing smoothie recipes from Dr. Rena's kitchen includes, for example, that I use half a cup of zucchini, peeled and
Mm.
chopped. I add half a cup of cucumber, 2 cups of frozen berries. I personally prefer like mixed berries. 1 pear sliced, and I core that. The reason why not banana, because pear is nicely in season in winter in the northern hemisphere, and it's just lower like starch than banana as such. Majol dates, if you want a little bit of sweetness, is a great sweet source of fiber. I add a lot of omega-3s through hemp seeds, 1 teaspoon of hemp seeds, 1 teaspoon of chia seeds, 1 teaspoon of linseeds, then 1 teaspoon of acacia powder, for example, 1 teaspoon of green banana flour, which is a great prebiotic fiber as well. Half a teaspoon of pomegranate extract. So we know pomegranate is a beautiful addition to the holiday season that I use a lot in my cookbook for recipes. Pomegranate is amazing. It
Mm.
actually has a lot of polyphenols in it, and they actually also it peels back the biofilm in the gut, so it
Mm.
disrupts the protective shield where a lot of harmful bacteria very often hide. So it really helps with the beneficial gut flora and has antibacterial, antifungal properties. I also add half a teaspoon of cinnamon, which we
Mm.
always forget that actually spices are super high sources of antioxidants. And then I add a tablespoon of almond, or here in Australia we have macadamia butter, a nice additional source of protein and fat, and half a cup of coconut yogurt or coconut milk kefir, and then 1 1/3 cups of your preferred nut milk or cow's milk, whatever milk you prefer. And that is such a rich smoothie that you feel so good mentally and physically, and it really stabilizes your blood sugar until your next big main meal.
Wow. I need to take you grocery shopping because there's and I could just I all I had was a picture like a laboratory with all of these ingredients lined up
Yeah.
because they sound incredible, but it's like an exotic kitchen. And I'm
Yes.
sure that the smoothie would just be out of this world. And like you said, there's so many nourishing elements inside that smoothie. But yeah, wow, that is incredible. Okay, I'll take baby steps and pick up a couple of those ingredients along the way.
Yeah.
Because yes, I know a lot of them are a lot more available today than they used to be. But thank you for that information and so insightful in what each does for us and why it matters that they're in the smoothie. So thank you so much.
You're
I'm
welcome.
just now I now I'm really anxious to go get that made. I'm like, okay, I've got to try it. So the next question that I have is eating mindfully. So here's the statistics. It takes 20 minutes for our brain to get the message from our stomach that it's full. That's 20 minutes. That's a long time. So why is it so important to eat mindfully, and what does it have to do with our blood sugar regulation?
So eating slowly with intention allows actually the body to digest food at a natural pace. By taking time with each bite, glucose is actually released more gradually into the bloodstream
Mm.
rather than all at once. So this steady release prevents a sharp blood sugar spike and then the crash, giving you balanced energy and preventing those mid-afternoon slumps. It also enhances hormonal balance and satiety cues. So, mindful eating helps to tune into your body's signals for hunger and fullness. So, by focusing
Mm.
on the experience of eating, we become actually more aware of when we are truly satisfied, reducing the risk of overeating. This is essential for blood sugar control, as overeating can really lead to excess glucose in the blood, straining our insulin response and causing that energy dip. So, eating
Mm.
to the point of satisfaction rather than fullness keeps glucose levels really steady and manageable. And it also can help with boosting digestion and nutrient absorption for better glycemic control. So when we chew thoroughly and eat with attention, our digestion actually improves. By the way,
Mm.
when we talk about chewing, each bite you want to really chew until it's kind of liquidy, roughly 20 times, depending on what you eat, because digestive enzymes then also begin breaking down the food effectively in the mouth,
Mm.
allowing glucose to be absorbed at a steadier rate. So, this promotes a balanced glycemic response as the body can process and metabolize carbohydrates more effectively. It also means our body gets the most from each meal, helping keep blood sugar more stable throughout the day.
Mm.
Interestingly enough, it also reduces stress and cortisol. So, eating in a mindful, relaxed state helps reduce cortisol, which is our primary stress hormone, because when cortisol is high, it signals to the body to release glucose into the bloodstream for a quick energy, which is great for the fight flight, but not for balanced blood sugar. So,
Right.
eating mindfully helps keep cortisol in check, which supports the insulin's role in regulating the blood sugar. And last, it can lower craving and sugar dependencies. By slowing down and truly experiencing each bite, we feel more satisfied with less,
Mm.
reducing the cravings for high sugar or processed foods that cause blood sugar to spike and crash. Dissatisfaction means we are less likely to reach for sugar laden treats after meals, helping maintain steady blood sugar and energy levels. So, mindful eating offers a blend of benefits that go beyond just slowing down. It strengthens your connection with food, it boosts digestion, it maintains steady blood sugar. So, by making each meal really a moment of intention and balance, you set the foundation for better energy, fewer cravings, and optimal health all day long.
It reminds me of almost a feng shui kind of eating. You want to bring your
Yeah.
energy into the moment and be aware of what you're eating, the flavor, and just doing it to enjoy it, not to fill up. Because often, and the fast food industry, I don't even call that food, I call it filler, because there's nothing nutritional
Mm,
about fast food, and a lot of
mm,
the center aisles in the grocery store that are all boxed. But yes, I could see that. I was getting into the mode of like, oh, I'm feeling very mindful. So all I thought was, we all have to go to Dr. Verena's School of Eating and learning how not just to bake and eat and cook properly, but also how to eat properly, because it is a habit. It is a habit that we have, especially when we have busy lives, and there's all kinds of things running through our heads, and you want to get through something in a hurry because you've got something else you've got to do. So you're not even present for what you're eating. And that's so
uh,
important.
yeah. It's really important, Jane. So I always highly recommend to clients, and when I do cooking workshops and we share the meal at the end, I really invite people to, when they actually chew, to put the cutlery down on the
Mm,
plate. Because try this out, and I invite your audience too, because as soon as the food enters the mouth, put your cutlery down and just notice that you will automatically slow down. So we always want to sit down when we eat. We don't want to stand, ideally, because this slows us already down. Then put the cutlery down when you chew, in between. Then in between, yeah, and then when no multitasking, meaning we don't want to be on our phone, iPads, watch TV. We can have a bit of conversations, of course, and enjoy them, but also really like concentrate on the texture, the flavor. Like we look at our food. It's we want to like get all the senses involved.
yeah, absolutely. Yes, I can feel that. I feel that energy, and it would change your entire meal and the way you you approach eating. There's no question about it.
Mhm.
It's a whole it's a rewiring and a relearning. But that's why we're here, is exactly to learn and to grow. So thank you for that information, Dr. Verena. I'm just in awe of all of this. I'm going to have to watch this and download everything. So this is wonderful. So swaps for holiday treats. What are some easy swaps and guilt-free indulgence for holiday treats?
What I love to use in my cooking are actually banana and dates and sweet potatoes. And you find them a lot in the ingredient list of my desserts in the cookbook, because they're really nutrient dense sweeteners that actually bring natural sweetness along with essential vitamins, minerals, and fiber. So, banana and dates, for example, are also really rich in potassium, B6, antioxidants, and fiber that helps actually to slow sugar absorption, which supports then that steady blood sugar response and the blood
Yeah.
sugar levels that we were talking about before. And the sweet potato adds further value with the beta carotene, which gets converted into vitamin A, really important antioxidants, and vitamin C. And vitamin C is not just important for immunity, but also really important for the adrenal cortex and that stress response.
Mm.
Along with the resistant starch in sweet potato, it really promotes gut health and enhances that insulin sensitivity again. So together, these whole foods provide a really nourishing way to add sweetness to your recipes without the blood sugar spike linked to refined sugar. Bananas, for example, you can freeze them, and once they're peeled, you freeze them and you can make delicious ice cream out of it. Dates and
Mm.
sweet potatoes, I love to, you can add to smoothies all the way to muffins. If people want to like also swap refined sugar into better sweetener sources, because sometimes we really need to replace white sugar with sweeteners in recipes that don't spike the blood sugar, then yacon syrup and monk fruit are really good replacements. Yacon is derived from the root of the yacon plant native to South America. It offers really unique low glycemic sweetness that's ideal for those seeking minimal impact on blood sugar. It's quite rich in fructooligosaccharides. That's a type of prebiotic fiber that supports a healthy gut microbiome and stabilizes blood sugar actually by slowing digestion. If you want to get monk fruit, that's more available in supermarket. Yacon syrup is more available online. With the monk fruit, you have to be really careful and look at the ingredients list, because very often it contains 90% of erythritol, which is a sugar alcohol that we don't want to consume. It can really
Mm.
upset your digestion. So you want to really get 100% monk fruit concentrate or granules made from the Asian Luohan guo fruit. It really intensely sweet, far sweeter than white sugar. So you just need a little bit but it really helps with avoiding insulin spikes. It's ideal for managing blood glucose, and both are really very beautiful sweetener options that help satisfy that craving for something sweet while supporting that metabolic health.
Mm. Great information. Thank you. Yes, I love dates, and thank you for that tip on monk fruit, because I personally, we do use monk fruit, but now I'm going to check the label because there obviously is a difference. They only usually have one or two brands of the monk fruit, or yeah, the monk fruit sugar, or whatever. But yes, now I definitely I'm going to take a peek at that and make sure it doesn't have that particular ingredient. So thank you. Well, adding fiber. Now, feasting on a fat-rich, sugary foods means feeling stuffed and sluggish. So, what can we do to help curb that gross feeling after we have our incredible meals?
Fiber is amazing, yeah, because it's an essential nutrient that helps slow digestion, keeps you feeling full longer, and prevents the bloating and lethargy that often follows indulgent meals. So during the festive season, when rich sugary foods are abundant, adding fiber can make a huge difference in how we feel. So if you're enjoying takeaway or celebratory dishes, consider sneaking into some extra fiber with a simple side salad made from seasonal vegetables, high fiber like legumes such as black beans, beluga lentils, or edamame beans, because these additions don't just aid digestion, they are also stabilizing blood sugar, reducing the insulin spike again, and curb that stuffed feeling by promoting a steady release of energy. Edamame beans, for example, are packed with powerful nutrients such as choline, B vitamins, which support brain health, reduce anxiety, improve digestion, detox liver function, and REM sleep, and even help manage, therefore, the holiday stress. So, by adding fiber rich foods, you're helping to maintain healthy gut bacteria, as fiber acts really as a prebiotic that feeds beneficial microbes in the digestive tract. So, a quick fiber boost keeps your digestive system really happy and your energy more balanced, while allowing you to savor your favorite festive treats without the post meal slump.
Mm. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that information. So here's another one that you mentioned briefly at the beginning, and it's liver support. So why does supporting our liver with herbal teas make a noticeable difference in how we feel after the holiday meals?
Well, during the holiday season, your liver is really working overtime, processing indulgent meals and holiday drinks. So, to give it some extra support, you can try incorporating liver supporting teas like dandelion or green tea to your routine, because dandelion tea is known for its detoxifying properties, stimulating bile production, which we need for fat digestion, and helping flush out toxins, while green tea provides a wealth of antioxidants that protect the liver cells from damage. So these teas are also rich in beneficial phytochemicals that feed our gut microbiome, promoting a healthier digestive system. So for those with sensitive stomachs prone to bloating or gas, gut calming fennel tea is an excellent choice as well. Its natural compound helps to relax the digestive tract, reducing discomfort and enhancing digestion. So sipping on those teas can make a noticeable difference, supporting both liver function and digestive health during the holiday season.
Thank you. And I'm a big fan of all of those. I love, and I see that in your book, your cookbook, that you have one for well, you have them all, but the fennel tea, that you actually boil the fennel seeds, and and rather than purchasing it, because you can purchase fennel tea, but obviously that would be a much healthier option, because again, the teas, we're not sure where they come from and how they're being processed, et cetera, et cetera. So, but yes, thank you for that. So, holiday stress, what are some ways to stay grounded while celebrating? What are some of the ways that we can help ourselves to feel our best physically and mentally?
I think looking after your mental well-being during the holiday season is just as important as taking care of your physical health. Even if your schedule is packed, try to keep some form of physical activity, such as just walking after meals, doing a quick workout or stretching. For example, if I don't have a lot of time, I just get up 20 minutes earlier and do a 15-minute spin session in the garage just to get a bit of physical activity, because exercise doesn't just keep your digestion smooth and your metabolism active. It is also really important to supporting your endocannabinoid system. So this is a lot of new research which shows us that the endocannabinoid system, also abbreviated it as ECS, plays a key role in balancing mood, appetite, pain, and stress response. So physical activity increases the production of endocannabinoids, like certain neurotransmitters that, for example, anandamide, which is a bliss molecule, leading to
Mm-hmm.
that post-exercise sense of calm and euphoria. We were always thinking that it's more what was it, endorphins, but it is actually the endocannabinoids that rather also endorphins, but endocannabinoids play a crucial role. So this activation of the endocannabinoid system helps reduce stress hormones, promotes better sleep, and supports gut health by reducing inflammation, all of which are essential for resilience during the busy holidays. So the holidays can be stressful, which can impact your gut health and overall energy. So I would also set time aside for relaxation and stress reduction techniques to support that gut-brain connection and reduce stress that often leads to digestive discomfort. It doesn't need to be a lot of time. Practices like 5 minutes of meditation, yoga, it doesn't need to be a whole yoga class that you need to attend. It can just be one or two postures. Like in the evening before you go to bed, you can just do legs up the wall, which is a beautiful calming calming the nervous system exercise. Or, for example, the child's pose that a lot of people know. Otherwise, you can look it up on YouTube. Breath work, you can just do a 2-minute breath exercise where you inhale to the count of 4 and you exhale to the count of 6. You put a timer on that you do this for 2 minutes or 15 rounds. And that is beautifully efficient in rebalancing that autonomic nervous system, which is one of our main stress regulators. It makes such a difference. Before you go to bed, just you can sit or lie in bed and just do a 2-minute breathing exercise like that. It makes such a difference. And 2 minutes is really doable. We very often scroll on our phone far more, or simply
Yeah.
walk in nature for like 5 to 10 minutes, if that's accessible for you, or in the park that's close by. It makes you feel really more grounded and resilient.
Yes, thank you. Those are wonderful tips. I found myself breathing in and out while you were talking with the 4 and the 6, because that just goes to show you can do it anytime. It's just being mindful and thinking, oh, I'm being triggered, or I could use a little time out. And like you said, child's pose, legs up the wall is fabulous. You could put your pillow behind you, or a booster, because I used to be a teach yoga, so yes, I love that pose. And so absolutely, thank you for all of those wonderful tips. And of course, walking after a meal is wonderful. We used to do that all the time when I lived in Canada, because it was chilly and wintry, but it would just boost your, get the fresh air and boost your metabolism, and just felt good after a good meal. So thank you for those tips. So ditching the diet mentality, this is really something that I think people are going to love. How can we rewire our approach to holiday foods? Because I know that so many people are like, oh no, it's going to spoil my diet. Oh no, I can't eat. I'm on a diet. So let's switch our mentality. And how do we do that?
Well, during the holiday season, it's really common to feel pressure to restrict certain foods in an attempt to maintain that control over our health and weight. However, the key to a healthier, more enjoyable festive season is to really ditch that diet mentality and embrace a balanced approach to food. Because when we label foods as off limit, it often leads to a stronger craving and feeling of deprivation, which can make it harder to actually enjoy the holiday experience. Instead, I recommend to focus not on the restriction and reframe how you view actually food. So, enjoying your favorite holiday treats without guilt or shame is not only mentally freeing, but it can also help you to maintain a healthier relationship with food. So, savor a bite, focus on mindful eating, and listen to your body cues. It's not about saying no to indulgent foods, but rather about making conscious choices that allow you to really enjoy the flavors of the season without overindulgence. So I always find balance is the key. Include nourishing options, like we said, the vegetables, protein, and fiber rich foods, alongside festive treats to keep you satisfied and like really energized. By letting go of the guilt around holiday foods and focusing on moderation and enjoyment, you will find it easier to actually feel good about your choices and avoid the stress that often accompanies that rigid dieting. The holiday
Mm.
should be a time of celebration, not for food rules that leave you feeling restricted and deprived. So, enjoying everything in moderation can really help you have a more joyful, balanced experience while supporting your health.
Mm. And that's what we want, joy. I mean, that's, you're absolutely right. And that would go for alcohol as well, I'm assuming, you beat moderation, because that's another element that tends to have a lot of empty calories. And we like to enjoy the alcohol. And there's all kinds of incredible holiday alcohols out there that they concoct just for the season, right? Eggnog with
Yes, yes.
alcohol, chocolate with alcohol. I mean, oh yeah, they sound so yummy. Just moderation, correct?
Correct. Moderation is always the key. So during the festive season, it's easy to overindulge in alcohol, as you said, but being mindful of your choices can really help to protect your health. So alcohol can undo much of the good work you have been doing the entire year so far. So it's really important to maintain that balance. As
Mm.
alcohol impairs your actually ability to manage stress, it disrupts hormone balance and contributes to estrogen dominance, which always fuels weight gain. And that effect is even more so if women, for example, are postmenopausal or in menopause already. So it really alcohol depletes essential nutrients. Even if we just have one glass of B vitamins, magnesium, which are crucial for energy production and mood regulation and maintaining that healthy stress response. And we know that it interferes with sleep and hampers detoxification of liver, kidney, and lymphatics. So to help reduce the impact of alcohol through the festive season, it's actually important to eat vegetables and high fiber foods before you drink. Because if we have fiber rich foods, it helps us to slow alcohol absorption, prevents that blood sugar spike, and helps your body process alcohol more effectively. So, filling up on a plate of vegetables or, say, half a cup of legumes, like edamame, lentils, or the leafy greens can always also support then the liver function, digestion, and reduce that inflammation. So when you eat fiber before drinking, and I have clients who religiously do that, where they eat a little bowl of steamed spinach, or they eat a little salad before they actually have their first glass of alcohol, because it creates this beautiful buffer that can ease the strain of alcohol being put on your system. It really makes a difference. I highly recommend trying that out. And when choosing your drinks, opt for lighter options, just such as a glass of red wine or a clean cocktail made with soda water, lime, and a spirit like tequila or vodka, because these tend to be less taxing on your system than sugary cocktails or beer, actually. Additionally, for every alcoholic drink, make sure you always drink a glass of water in between, because it's of course hydrating, but you also then reduce the amount of alcohol you drink, because you always take the time to have a glass of water in between. You slow down the process of drinking alcohol, and it reduces the severity of that hangover, because you prioritize hydration as well. You want to choose the high fiber foods and select those lighter drinks, so you can really still enjoy the festive season while protecting your health.
Okay, it sounds, yes, absolutely. It's all about being conscious and mindful of what you're fueling your body with or not fueling your body with. But thank you for that. I, that's a great tip, to eat some salad or some, a couple of those other things that you mentioned before you take a drink, because that, I would never have thought of that, but it's so simple. And then, of course, drinking water in between. So, the book. All right. I have my book here beside me, which I love. I have told Dr. Verena that I'm making some of these recipes. And one of my favorites is the chocolate, what is it? Sweet potato muffins. Oh my gosh, they are just to die for. But that being said, tell our audience about your new cookbook and where they can find it. And I want to say this would make a fabulous Christmas gift. So just go for it, Verena.
Thanks so much, Jane. It has been well received out since March. Dr. Rena's Kitchen is Eating for Ultimate Health Made Easy is the first cookbook that integrates 6 healing nutritional protocols, so including gluten-free, sugar-free, dairy-free, paleo, low FODMAP, and low histamine. But it doesn't really mean that the flavor or the fun in recipes is compromised by having those 6 gut healing nutritional protocols part of it, or underlying every recipe. So if you want to feel better but you don't know where to start, the cookbook is really a great guide, showing you the way. It doesn't, if you're ready to heal painful gut symptoms, or you want to get rid of brain fog, or just lose some weight, or supercharge your energy, or heal menopausal symptoms, that's the perfect cookbook for you. It has one simple purpose. I really developed that cookbook to help you and your family eat for ultimate health in a sustainable, easy, and delicious way. So the recipes are really based on nutrient-rich whole foods, natural prebiotics, probiotics, and dietary diversity, which are foundations for a robust gut microbiome and overall health. So each recipe is also explaining the health benefits of the ingredients used, that have been curated for their health properties, really. And the book completes with gut health fundamentals, the healing levels I mentioned, menu planning ideas, and those ingredients insights. So it's really an easy way to eat for ultimate health.
Yes, absolutely. And what I wanted to say too, I've got it right here, and it's got fabulous photos so you can see what you're, look at that. Oh my gosh, you see, you just want to eat every page. But also at the beginning, it's like a reference. She's got the smoothies and the teas, but there's all kinds of wonderful information here from Dr. Verena about our food and our why she cooks with what she does. So it's more than a cookbook. It's also a health reference book. At least that's the way I see it. So I just can't say enough about it. And I'm just saying that oh, do you have a favorite recipe? That's what I wanted to ask you in the book. I know there's so many, but do you have a favorite that you can just share?
My favorite recipe, I actually really like the pumpkin tart. That is a beautiful, perfect recipe for the. I'm just gonna get it up. It's a beautiful recipe actually for the festive season, so you could cook it, and in addition to the festive season, the pumpkin leek tart is a beautiful one. Pumpkin and leek tart is one of my favorites, and it's also really well received by the audience. Yeah,
Yummy.
so that's a delicious one that I always like to make. But
Ooh,
it's
I think
hard
I'm
to
going to
pick a
try that.
favorite one. Yeah, but it's a
Yeah,
beautiful
absolutely.
one.
Yes, pumpkin leek tart. Yes, that sounds
Mhm.
delicious. Absolutely. So, give our audience where they can find your book, your services, and your resources, because I know that you can also consult from far away. Dr. Brenna is in Australia, but I know that she also has clients all over the world. So, just give our audience an idea of where they can get in touch with you.
So the book is available globally via Amazon. If you just go to Amazon and type in Dr. Verena's Kitchen, Eating for Ultimate Health Made Easy, or Dr. Verena's Kitchen, you will find the cookbook. You can connect with me always via Instagram or Facebook. The handle is Dr. Verena, written out DOCTORVERENA. You can also go to my website, drverena.com, which has a lot of resources, and you're more than welcome to sign up to my newsletter for monthly health hacks and healing protocols. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from you. If you want to work with me, like Jane said, I work with clients from all over the world. In the today's space of online consultations, everything is possible.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And if there was one message, Dr. Verena, that you could share with the world right now, what would that be?
I would say to people, trust yourself more and share your authentic self with the world.
I love that. And because we're here on the Epic Vision Zone, I have one last question. And I know you answered this in your previous interview, but maybe you have another title. If your life were an epic story, what would the title be?
I thought of a new title, Jane. So I came up with Your Story Holds the Key. Uncover hidden health insights through your own narrative.
Ooh, wow. I love that. Okay, I can't wait for
Yeah,
the book.
yeah. Well, I'm really, yeah, in the back of my mind, thinking about writing this because that's, what I do in clinic, really, in a nutshell. And through your story and your own narrative, um, which I go deeply into, I really uncover how that personal story and your narrative affects and contributes to your mental, emotional, and physical health issues, actually. And by tackling it, it's amazing what transformations you can experience to become more of that healthy, authentic self that we were talking about before. Yeah, and with a lot of client case studies, I will write that book one day.
Wonderful. Oh, that's a fabulous title. I hope you've written it out somewhere, but if not, it's right here.
It's
So,
on your notes. It's
yes,
will have
that's on.
proof.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Dr. Verena, for joining us today. And once again, for information to connect with Dr. Verena, go to the Epic Vision Zone bio pages where you will find all of her social media and direct contact information. And be sure to Connect with me on Instagram at Jane Applegath. And don't forget to connect with me at janeapplegath.com, where you can access your free downloads, Creative Power, and Vision Play. This is the Epic Vision Zone, transforming your dreams into much success, sending you love and gratitude.